All right, hey, welcome to Storyteller Spotlight. Today we are featuring Elektra Assassin with illustrations and storytelling by Bill Sienkiewicz. Looks like the date on the cover is 1986, so this will be a cool blast from the past. And Bill is one of the great comic book artists of the last 40 or 50 years. So this is going to be really cool. Quick housekeeping. Check out my Patreon. I have 42 unlisted videos that you'll get access to. I upload art multiple times a day. There's tiers now if you want private instruction. There's two options for that. But look, just come in and tip me $1 or $5 or whatever, and you're gonna get full access to all the content that I've added up, which is a lot, and I interact very directly with everyone. All right, so as I've been working on this heavy metal job, I've actually been laying out pages the last like 4 or 5 days. I've spent quite a bit of time working on it, and not only have I learned a lot doing it, but I've been able to apply a lot of what we've learned looking at these books. So this is going to be extra fascinating for me. I think that I have more insight to the process now, and also I'm looking forward to learning. So let's do it. All right. Really nice cover. We'll just take in the cover. Great composition. He's got this great shape here, and this juxtaposition of this to this leads you down the image. So really, really nice. Ignore the ad banners on the top. It's just easier for me to do these type of videos on the computer. Anyway, so pencil drawing. This is actually really nice. Bill definitely uses photo reference with his work. I don't know the blend. I would say sometimes it's probably 60 to 70% based on photos. He's a really, really good draftsman, so he can draw quite well out of his head. But he definitely uses photo reference with his work, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different style of working, and there's room for everyone. So it's a really beautiful, just little teaser piece. I like it a lot. Really, really nice opening page. Oh, and this is all painted too, man. Guy is such a stud. He's such a good artist. Yeah, really, really nice opening page. Looks very peaceful. Beautiful colors. Yeah, it just sets a very nice kind of tranquil mood. But what's interesting is the title's Hell and Back. So I have a hunch we're going into hell. Let's go. Oh yeah, this will be really interesting because Bill is so surreal and interesting. So man, that's crazy. The woman on the beach, the baby inside. He gave her googly eyes. It says Papa touches her. I'm assuming that's the father, maybe like massaging the wife's head. You got the hand here. I mean, clearly that's photo referenced. This is all very stylized, so he drew all this. I mean, you can see the blend, and we'll talk a little bit about that too. But he's got this very childlike sort of like thing going on here, and then photorealism. So we'll see if there's a significance to when he does it, or if it's more of a utilitarian approach, meaning that hand needs to be more accurate. So it was in his best interest to use photo reference. So this is a really fascinating transition. I almost get the impression that this is a flashback. Maybe the father was in Vietnam or something like this, and so we'll see. And maybe this is actually going on right now too. This looks like a sailboat, maybe. Oh, okay, so they're in here. And again, he went really, really cartoony. You can see these little like almost caricatures in here. I mean, the temptation for at least me, if I was drawing a piece like this, is I would think that these two characters would need to be more realistic. But maybe this is told from the daughter's mind later, like maybe she's in therapy, and somehow this is like her working through her past. So let's see what's going on here. Wow. Okay. So it is. It's kind of her thinking back to her parents' origins. So now we see what's really going on. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm still getting over this cold. All right. I don't think I'm going to sneeze. All right, this is a great shot. Man, it's so kick-ass. And this doesn't look referenced to me. I mean, it may be, but it's looks 100% Bill. Really, really cool. He does a lot of times this real interesting where he'll do like an acrylic paint job. This could be oils. And then he'll draw over it. She seems to be beaming in on, like, she's about to power up here or something like that. I'm getting the impression. And yeah, that's a pretty intense face. pulling in tight like that is definitely going to create a sense of unease and kind of immediacy, like something's about to snap. Then again, we go to this very, very stylized, I guess this would now be a flashback, and Bill, bullet hole here, and it's spelled weird. So yeah, this is definitely her sort of like some sort of childlike sort of therapy going on, whether it's actually really happening or if it's just sort of psychologically in her mind, her memories or stuck in a childlike thing, because there's misspellings on the words and all that. So interesting. It's a nice shot. I mean, and if we want to look at the flow of this page, he sweeps you around here. Circles always will kind of make you stop and look at a specific thing. And then he has this kind of nice sweep through here. All right, let's see what we got next. Wow, okay. Okay, so the black and white here would lead me to believe that this is almost like a photograph or something like this, because, and then we go to this where it looks like she's laying covered in blood, and maybe that's a cat on her chest. It's hard to tell. That almost looks like a tail, and like this could be the body. I'm not sure. We'll see in a second. It's a little hard to read. And then this goes back to the beach with her in the bikini and the child, and then it almost looks like Tesla or something like that. This is really, really cool. Really, really cool. Again, this looks like it was drawn over a photograph, even though this is all very stylized. It feels like an exterior shot of maybe like from a movie or something like that he's drawn over, but he's completely blown it out, so it works quite well. And then all this is probably drawn, but yeah, this is really, really cool. I love the colors. Really, really, everything is in the same value range except for the hair is darker. Value meaning level of gray. Like if you turn this gray, this is a fairly balanced panel. These lines are lighter. This is what's going to draw your eye, and then these black shapes will lead you out, and kind of his lines too. Nice sweep here. Just based on the imagery, it's a little hard for me to tell if this is the mother or Elektra now, but I see a child that maybe is growing up. And again, it's easier sometimes to, as I'm filming these videos, I have to come up with conclusions quicker than maybe you would watching the video back. So this is interesting. This isn't necessarily a storytelling element, but Bill sometimes will overlay like mixed media type things. So this is actually lace. He may have cut it off of a tablecloth, but that looks pasted down. And then that's interesting. That's tape. Do you see that? That's tape that he has on the original artboard. Now, my guess is that this and this is the same thing, so it would lead me to believe that one of these panels might have, like, this is either a photocopy, color photocopy, or somehow he would mimic that, because one of these two is the actual size of this thing. But that's the kind of the genius of Bill, is you see effects like this and you kind of wonder how he did it. This looks like it's the real version. And again, this is an oversized board. It's probably at least 11 by 17, if not bigger. So my speculation would be that this is somehow a reduced version of that, which would make more sense, is a tablecloth would have that. All right, so again, very stylized. I mean, the guy will move through so many different looks in the book. This is very very different and very cool looking. My cat wants in the office. It's like, I want to be on YouTube, buddy. This is really nice. Really, really nice. You know, I've always kind of wondered if a young artist that drew like this, how welcome that they would be at the big two now. You would hope that they would be, because it's pretty brilliant work, but I sometimes question it too. This might be too much. A normal editor might not know what to do with this. You know, it's like you need someone pretty visionary to be able to accept it. The fact that Bill has worked on mainstream books helps, though. I mean, that you've seen him do this work on, you know, Daredevil or Elektra, so it's like, you know that it can work. But to just come in and have samples like this could be off-putting. unfortunately. Who knows? You need to pair up with a like a writer may see this and love it, or not. Wow, that's great. And again, this almost looks like Jeff Jones. Really, really cool. Man, there's so many different things going on here. In terms of storytelling, I mean, you've got this group of women, and it leads me to believe that it's similar to the shot outside the building. Well, I'm going to pause this for a second and scare my cat away. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. The cat's just sitting outside the office, like crying the whole time I'm doing this. So, these are probably the two guys that have her captive in that room that we saw that one shot. And oh, this is interesting. So this is a group of them. Again, I'm only basing this on what I'm seeing. So just to be clear, oh, it's probably like they're shooing them away. Well, this is interesting, man. It's quite a large juxtaposition from that last shot. You know, not even storytelling, but like, check this out. Like his decision making. Like, man, if something's too burdensome, he'll just won't draw it. He's like, I'm not going to draw a bunch of plates and stuff in perspective. I mean, they are basically, but you know, it's like he didn't do them like this in this shot. Again, the decision making is wild. And then he goes to this. This flashback is done in that real graphic, kind of, I don't even know what you call it, like modern art style. It's really, really cool. And then we go to this. I knew this would be a wild ride. It's really kind of fun to see. He's basically showing you like, hey, you can draw it in this style, this style, this style, this style, or this style. But then he's like, or you could draw all at once. Let's go. Come on. It's so shirking. Threads the needle. Boom. That's nice right there. I like that a lot. Oh. Interesting. This is really nice. Man, this guy is so avant-garde. It's crazy. Man, it must have been really interesting when this stuff was coming out. It's got, like, some really, really cool stuff. This almost has a little bit of like a Frank Miller look from later in Frank's career when he did the second, is it called Dark Knight Strikes Again or whatever? It was that really wild one. It's like kind of a weird sense of aesthetics in terms of like the beauty of the characters, but storytelling's quite solid. But it's like they forego a lot of the delicateness of contemporary art and detail. Works though, you know. It's pretty decent storytelling. Not decent, but you know what I mean. It's like it definitely fits the bill. It's fascinating how when he takes you these different places, each one has its own look. Man, that's really good. Yeah, this is crazy. This could have been a photo from like one of those World War II kind of things where they would have the rooms where they would keep people that were either like kicked out of their homes or like medical things. But man, all these female figures are great. This is really, really good. Let me go back to one of his more like that past sequence. Man, this is great looking. Really, really cool. Look at that. Nice. Yeah, this is so cool. We'll probably at some point do multiple dives into Bill's work because it reaches a very broad. There's just many kind of rabbit holes we can go down with this stuff, and it'll be fun. And it's pretty arty, you know, well crafted stuff. This is really nice. It's you would assume that these brighter colors would be leading you in kind of like a more happy place, but then you've got this kind of real bloody scene right here that takes you back to this, where it's like there's really like a lot of like kind of depression going on with these sequences. This is really nice. Man, it's crazy. This reminds me of kind of some of the old illustrated like children's books that you can find sometimes online, like Tumblr or Pinterest. People will collect this stuff, and it's very vibrant colors. It's really cool. This is a really nice like positive negative shape here going on. The red could indicate danger. I mean, there's clearly like a lot of like sort of symbolism going on here with the rat and the tortoise. Oh, but the tortoise wins. That's really cool too. Great lighting on that face. That's really cool. Here we go. It's, I have to say, it like this is probably my favorite style that he does throughout this book. But if the whole book was done in this style, it could get kind of one note. I'm not saying that it would be, but it having this be one of the themes that's going on in the story actually is quite appealing, because of the variety. Like I'm feeling like I'm not ever overwhelmed by this, and it's like every time I see this look, it's quite enjoyable, and it sort of pulls me into that world. This is really, really good, man. Oh yeah, this is nice. Wow. And the one thing that you'll notice throughout this series, is great as this stuff is Bill really was growing leaps and bounds. So with all of his work for many, many years, he was always improving and refining things and trying different things. So it's like his level of skill and execution just kept going and going and going. Man, that's nice. It's always so impressive when people can paint pages like this. It's like really wild. But again, painted books feel soft. So the problem with a fully painted book is it doesn't have the knockout punch of pen and ink, and where Bill brings you back to that is stuff like this. Even though this is painted, it's leaning more towards that other thing that has hand-drawn lines, and hand-drawn lines in comic books look right. A fully painted book can look soft. This is really, really excellent. That's really, really nice. This almost ends up being a bit of a super fun Sunday, just because it's so visually appealing, and the story seems to be quite dense and abstract, to some extent, and you just get caught up in the imagery, but it's got a real nice design to it as well. And again, this will always make you stop, always make you stop, always make you stop. Boom, boom, boom. Wow. Oh man, that's really cool. And then here we go, one of these again. Very refreshing. This is really, really excellent. I'm so glad we picked this. I picked this. We enjoyed it. It's really, really cool. He doesn't follow the one thing, and I'm not saying that there's a rule to it, but it's fascinating to me is he's really good with shapes, but he generally doesn't send you up here, which we noticed that was a trend with a lot of artists. Again, there's no rules, and everyone handles it different. He does it here, though. He's got this, 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 and this, and it breaks, which is really, really nice. It's a nice sequence that moves you through here, and then this moves you here. But again, like what we'd seen with a lot of artists is they sweep up here with their shapes. Which he could have done here, possibly, like had something, but yeah, he tends to send you back this way. It's an interesting little anomaly in his stuff, and we'll see if he continues. Yeah, see, look, he always is sending you back this way. It's really weird. Not weird, but you can see these shapes all pull you this way, this, and then that. So there's sound compositions, but yeah, it's like his own little character trait on that. It's really wild. Nice. Really, really attractive panel there. So we're at 20 minutes. I was only going to do this 20 minutes, but I knew thinking that I was like, there's no way you're going to do just 20 minutes. We'll do 30. This is great. I like that a lot. This is really, really excellent too. Man, that guy's so good. This little black and white beat with the newspaper. He puts out the cigarette on it. Again, that's almost most definitely photo reference. But smart move though. It's a tough shot to draw and easier to paint than draw. To be honest, to draw those fingers like that in just black and white art can look very very kind of like nondescript, and it'll just look like these weird nubbins. It's something that I'm going to really struggle with when I start actually drawing these pages, is all my layouts look more like paintings. And you know, if I'm going to do it in line work, I have to figure out a way to render this stuff and have that level of detail. Again, probably reference. Very, very difficult shot to go that tight on a face and have that little bit of a hand pulled in. There's a subtlety to it that's really, really nicely drawn. But he uses this as just very, very powerful tools to make this stuff killer, you know, and it works, and it's just really, really well drawn. Beautiful, beautiful colors here. This has got a little bit of that like Bob Peak, Bernie Fuchs kind of thing going on. If you don't know those artists, definitely Google them. Bob Peak is P-E-A-K, and then Bernie Fuchs is F-U-C-H-S. But they're both big influences on Bill's work. Man, that was really nice. This almost looks like the Millennium Falcon. I'm like tripping. Oh, I get it. It's the thing. Man, it's really good. Really, really good. That's great. It's got really nice planes on the face. He knows his forms quite well. That's really good. Oh, man. Again, this, but it's not overwhelming because we've got all of this. I mean, in this page, we've got this style, this style, this style. This is consistent. And then this kind of leans a little bit more like that, but that's almost more, it's got a little bit of a Klimt vibe to it for some reason to me. I don't know if it's the little dots, but yeah, really wild. But you know, there's a few things going on that page. Again, this would end up looking a bit like George Pratt or John J. Muth. There's one other artist that I'm thinking of that does a lot of painted books. Yeah, with Bill, he has this just really other thing. Oh, this is nice. He's got like a really good kind of triangle here, but again, this all sort of sends you back this way. It's so funny. Who knows? Maybe this is the right way to do it. No, I'm just kidding. There is no right way, but that's really nice here. That's good. Hello, Governor. It's like drinking steaming milk. It's really cool. Oh man, that's nice. God dang. That is so cool looking. Oh. I'm so happy to be drawing a story. I can't even tell you all. It's such an amazing opportunity, and I have so much to offer as a penciler. You guys, just as an artist, I say penciler meaning storyteller, but oh man, wait till you see what I've got coming for you guys. I have so many different things that I want to show. This is really nice. Ah, it's a tough thing to draw. He's smart, you know. He really like I'm telling you, like in pen and ink, this would be really, really hard to draw because you have to define all this stuff so much more. He can go in, and these forms are accurate, but he's good enough that he could probably draw this stuff. Like if he had to go in with a pen and render everything, he would go in real loosey goosey and nail it down good enough. It would be suggestive, but these are tough shots. Like that's really, really difficult angle. His hand's quite stylized, which actually benefits him in terms of complexity of drawing. But this is really good. Really nice lighting on that figure. You know, yep, that's really good. I honestly don't know what medium he's using to paint these. It looks like acrylic to me because he also uses airbrush, but it could be oils. I kind of don't think it is, but maybe it is. It's hard to say. But and he's a mad scientist. I mean, he talks about using all kinds of weird things with his work. So this is really nice. A little pencil still there. These are really cool. He's great at lettering too. His hand lettering is really, really cool. So 24 minutes. Who knows? Maybe we'll go 45. Man, that's really cool. And this is, so what you've got here, Simon Bisley does this a bit. This is pencil, and he's painted over the pencil very translucently, and that's it. And it works, and it looks quite good. Very, very little of this is ink. That looks like it's probably, yeah, that's shaded pencil. Fades down. My guess is that it is. This is really, really nicely painted. That's great. Probably photo reference. This is such a hard shot to draw. But it works. It looks really, really good. It's nice. Very tough angle for the fists. You know, but it's a little vague right there, but it still works. This is a great pose too. That face is awesome. Really, really nice page. But he kind of has, like, he finally is sending you up. Oh man, so good. You can kind of see his confidence building on this stuff too now. It's like, I think he's moving now. He's got a flow, and oh, that is really great. Woo, good stuff. Really good. Again, he didn't paint the level of detail here that he did on all this stuff. That's really nice. Wow, what a great page. Really, really nice. So I hope this is fun. Let's keep going. One sec. It's gonna switch me to the next book. There we go. All right, so we'll go through part of this one and then we'll call it a video. So I'm at 26 minutes. Really, really nice drawing. Man, that is so nice. God. Great gun. Oh, that's cool. Pretty. Oh, he's so good. God dang. This is a really cool page. 16 panels. Or wait, 12. It's nice. It's a lot of panels, but he keeps it simple. He moves you through it fast. There was no need to really put a ton of detail here and have you stuck on this page forever. These are mover shaker pages. This is a big mistake that a lot of pencilers make. Is you don't need a if you beat someone down with tons of detail on every page, it just doesn't work. It really doesn't. It's not what the comic storytelling is about. At that point, you're really doing more just illustrated pages. So you want to keep it in mind. There's a balance that you can create where you have those very hyper detailed, like, kind of knockout punches, but then also you're able to realize that there are pages that people are only going to spend a few seconds on, and sure, artists will go back and look at them longer, but you can still have those artists will look at them longer pages without having to kill yourself on everything. This is really, really fantastically done. Man, this is great. This is really, really cool. This is interesting. You know, very funny beat here. It's really nicely drawn. I love the way that everything wraps around. And then that. This is really good. God, this guy is just has so many weapons in his arsenal. God, very smart. Less to draw accurately and moves the story along. Brilliant move. Brilliant choice. This is a bit tighter, you know. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's the tip of a gun. It's an interesting thing. Then it goes through there. This is really cool. Nice arm. This is really, really nice too. And he sends it down. Oh yeah. And again, anything I say in these videos, this is just my opinion or my observation today. I may watch this video back a year from now and completely disagree with things that I say or things that I sort of ponder. But you know, it's part of the learning process. Is it's okay to be wrong, as long as you just say that, hey, this is kind of what I'm seeing now. This is really cool. Admit you're learning, and then it's okay, you know? I think the problem is you have people that go online and they kind of act like authorities on things, and it's there's no wiggle room for like backtracking or changing your opinion, you know? It's the fun of looking at art. This is really nice. Man, that's great. That shot right there, that's so hard to draw. He did it really good, too. The guy's just chugging that shot. Man. That's really cool. Yeah, there's these little interesting parallels between Frank Miller and Bill in terms of art style. Some of these characters, like they definitely were riffing or influenced it, excuse me, off of each other or something that was going on at the time. I'm just talking about artistically speaking. I know that they've collaborated, are collaborating, and you know, that's really really good. God, the lighting back there is great. This is really really nice. I love that. Very stylized. Could see Bisley definitely was a huge fan of Sienkiewicz. This is really cool. It's a nice blend of harder lines with the painted look. This is really cool. Man, look at that. That's so cool. It's whole Charles Bronson. Here he doesn't look so much like him, but man, that's great. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. We went long. It's 30 minutes. I think we're good. We'll go 2 more pages. It's really nice, man. I gotta get working. I actually gotta lay out a couple more panels on my page and then start drawing them. I have 6 more pages to lay out. I've done 4, and I'm waiting for a script. You're always waiting for something. That's why if you write and draw your own stories, you don't wait for anything. You just wait for you to sit down and do it. Kind of looks like Vampirella. Oh wow. Oh man, that's a nice arm. I don't want to stop. That's a really cool shot too. Oh, it's interesting. I almost thought those were fish for a second. Like I was like, what is that? Like water? It's Elektra. Oh, it's really cool. That's nice. It's interesting how the color in this book is kind of changed a little bit. Man, he is getting good. Okay, last page. All right, you guys all have a great day. I will talk to you later. Please smash the like. Check out Patreon. And yeah, I will be back with a super fun Sunday tomorrow. Who knows what we're going to do? I kind of have a hunch. I know. All right, bye.